Outclassing your superiors? What actually happens when you surpass the person in charge? Picture this. You're in a closed door briefing with a VIP client, somebody with real stature, right? And you're there with a senior colleague. He's seasoned, respected, got a solid reputation. But he operates strictly within his comfort zone. So he's a bit narrow, predictable, slightly rigid. You present first, you read the room, you adapt, and you connect the dots that your superior doesn't see. Instantly, the client locks onto you. Then your superior notices. And then the volume goes up. Not louder, bigger, performative, overcompensating, and he's trying to project this authority that the room absolutely doesn't require. Meanwhile, the client is watching all of this unfold. So, what do you do? Petty ego duel? Disaster. How about a polite but backhanded correction? That is too cheap for the client's class and yours. Instead, you do what only self-assured people do. You give him all the airtime he needs. Let him talk. Let the mismatch reveal itself, the gap between his reputation and his emotional maturity. And when he finally winds down, you look at the client, you nod, you smile, you thank your colleague sincerely for his insights. Then you add one clean point he missed. Not flashy, not sharp-edged, but calibrated, thoughtful, and undeniably competent. He tenses slightly because you weren't disrespectful at all. You were actually pretty generous. And after the meeting, you send a short note thanking him for his valuable insights. Professional, warm, steady. Graciousness, when done with intention, is actually a power move. It sets boundaries without actually announcing them. And ironically, people like him often come to respect you more because they feel the steadiness that they don't have. And that's what outclassing a superior looks like when done with intention and mastery. When you outperform someone above you, not everyone is going to respond the same way. So let's talk about supportive mentors, and we'll call it a tale of two mentors. So, type one, the supportive mentor. So, this is the leader whose confidence is like so deeply rooted that your success isn't competition, it's confirmation for them. You deliver something brilliant and they think, well, great, finally somebody who can run beside me. They're secure, they're generous, and they don't need the spotlight. They open doors quietly, a well-timed intro, supportive emails, endorsement. No theatrics, no credit hoarding or gatekeeping, just calm confidence. Your excellence doesn't threaten them. It actually energizes them. Then there's type two, the threatened superior. They like your ambition in theory, as long as it stays below theirs. But the moment you start performing a bit too well, watch their micro expressions. The smiles freeze, the tone cools. Approval becomes paper thin. Their ego calculates. If you're rising too fast, what does that make me? Instead of mentoring, they try to contain your altitude. Not directly, that's too insecure, right? It's subtle, it's quiet, it's deniable. So, project gets reassigned. A meeting suddenly doesn't need you anymore. Credit becomes mysteriously shared. It's not sabotage, it's containment. And their goal isn't to destroy you, it's actually to maintain emotional equilibrium for them. So let me give you an example. Jenny was a junior consultant. She was sharp, creative, effortlessly adaptive. Carrie was her senior, diligent, experienced, a tad rigid. So someone who lived inside routines, not instincts. And at first, their relationship was warm. Carrie liked Jenny's drive, or at least like the version that stayed below hers. Then, Jenny started growing faster. Not competitively, not disruptively, just naturally, right? Ideas started to land, clients responded, and she began taking up quiet space. And that's when things started to shift. Nothing dramatic. Insecurity is actually pretty subtle. So, emails became clipped, feedback, nitpicky, warmth began to evaporate. Carrie's presence changed. A little more performance, a little less ease. It was almost like she was like auditioning for a role that nobody cast. Jenny noticed immediately. She didn't fight it, didn't shrink. She stayed steady, professional, warm, respectful. She asked questions when she genuinely needed insight, and she thanked Carrie sincerely each time. She refused to meet insecurity with defensiveness. And months later, when Jenny asked for guidance on handling a microbullying situation, Carrie sided with the bullies because defending Jenny would have required a level of security Carrie didn't have. Insecurity protects itself first, truth comes second. Jenny didn't argue, didn't retaliate. She thanked Carrie, quietly closed the chapter, and recalibrated that relationship. Not all resistance is malicious, and sometimes it's someone protecting the fragile scaffolding of their own identity. And once you understand that, you stop taking things so personally. Then there are those who aren't threatened, they're just blind. Not malicious, just limited. They evaluate talent not by merit, but through ego, habit, hierarchy. They don't see you, they see you for what you mean for them. So here's the thing. Leaders rarely evaluate talent directly. They evaluate how talent affects their identity. So what can you do with these dynamics, right? Couple things. One, calibrate visibility. Strategic brilliance beats relentless brilliance. So a single sentence at the right moment can actually redirect a meeting. Two, build allies. Skill gets attention, allies protect attention, and relationships diffuse insecurity from above. Three, choose moments to excel. Consistency is admirable, right? But relentless overperformance triggers threat. So it's about rhythm, not relentlessness. Observing reactions teaches as much as technical skills. So you get to learn like who's secure, who's threatened, who is blind, right? And who admires quietly. Influence isn't just ability, right? It's relational. It's also situational. So it's about reading like the power map in real time. Outclassing is not about outsmarting. And it's not even about being like better than the other person, but it's timing, it's restraint, and it's composure. So let brilliance appear in the moment that actually matters, not every moment, right? It's not about the skill alone. It's about reading the power, the timing, and knowing when to speak your brilliance. So next time you quietly excel past somebody above you, do not watch your own performance, but actually watch their reaction. It'll tell you everything. And as you grow, you'll meet both types, right? The mentor who loves to expand with you, and then the superior who contracts. In most cases, you cannot control which one you land on, but you can control how clearly you see them and how gracefully you navigate the space between your potential and their insecurity. And once you understand that, you stop taking reactions so personally because it was never really about your talent. It was actually more about their identity. And that clarity, right, that psychological literacy is its own form of power.